President Bola Tinubu eulogizes late Edwin Clark at 97. Aniocha South Chairman Jude Chukwuike empowers farmers. Plus, Asaba Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture elects new leader. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us on the news at 7. My name is Susan Esu with details of the news. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has described the late Pa Edwin Clark as a passionate advocate and a beacon of hope who believed in the unity, peace and progress of the country. The president, who was represented by Secretary to Government of the Federation, George Akume, said this at the funeral of late Pa Edwin Kiabudu Clark. Here is the report.
Here are the remains of a man who stood as a towering figure in the nation's political and social landscape, Pa Edwin Kiabudu Clark. His funeral was attended by dignitaries including President Bola Tinubu, who was represented by Secretary to Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, former Nigerian President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan and wife, the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, Governor Sheriff Oborowori and other state governors. President Bola Tinubu, who was represented by Secretary to Government of the Federation, described Pa Edwin Clark as a passionate advocate for resource control, a beacon of courage, who spoke for the Niger Delta and the nation. President said late Pa Edwin Clark's views on national issues were distinct and patriotic.
Clark was a beacon of courage. He stood unwaveringly for his beliefs and fearlessly confronted injustice.
Former President Goodluck Jonathan, Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio and Governor Sheriff Oborowori described Pa Edwin Clark as a great nationalist who lived in full validation of human dignity and a staunch advocate for freedom and national pride.
He was an extraordinary human being, a pillar of our nation, an audacious voice for the voiceless, and an unflinching defender of justice.
As we are seated here now, I want to see up to 100 Pa Edwin Clark emerge from the Niger Delta region because we're all his students.
Pa Clark stood for good governance. This was his overriding vision, passion, and focus in life.
Earlier, the Most Reverend Cyril Odutemo, Archbishop of Bendel Province Anglican Communion, in his homily titled "A Good Name is Better Than Riches," lauded Pa Clark's virtues, calling him a champion of integrity and a man of impeccable character. Pa Edwin Kiabudu Clark was born on May 25, 1927. He died at the age of 98. He was instrumental to the founding of Pan Niger Delta Forum, a coalition that is dedicated to peace and development in the South-South region of Nigeria. From Kiabudu, Susan Esu, NTA News.
Chief Edwin Kiabudu Clark was a colossus and enigma who lent his voice in advocacy for national unity and true federalism. His death, though at the ripe age of 97, still put the nation into mourning, such that they converged from all walks of life at his country home in Kiabudu, Burutu local government area of Delta State, to pay their last respect as his remains were interred. Chinyere Okoli captured the sights and sounds of that event.
The entire town of Kiabudu, Burutu, was enveloped with fanfare as prominent Nigerians came to honor and celebrate the impactful life of a man many described as a courageous advocate for justice and equity, as well as a fearless voice for the minority. The funeral service, Paul's Anglican Church, Kiabudu, was laced with tributes from top political leaders and dignitaries across Nigeria. The testimonies were allowed on
of goodness. He was a man of truth. He spoke truth to power, and he never diluted his thoughts. What if he thought was what he would say? And he spoke for justice, he spoke for fairness, he spoke for equity. He was a leader, He was a father.
He's diligent and his focus, and he has shown the example of an elder statesman. That is why I'm here.
They were celebrating his great beyond. Although he's an Ijaw national leader, but again he cut across Nigeria. That's why everybody is here to celebrate his life. We have no regret about his life. May his soul rest in perfect peace.
He was a national leader, not just for Lady Ijaws, but for Nigeria as a country. These are the people who made the system what it is today. They created it because it was in their days that all these things happened. So it's a phenomenon.
Ijaw traditional symbol, dance, as well as food were on display. Late Chief Edwin Kiabodo Clark was known for his fierce representation of the marginalized, advocacy for respect and recognition of the Niger Delta's vital role within our nation. His call for unity and equality in the country will resonate through generations. In Kiabodo, Brutu, I'm Chinyere Okoli, NTA News.
In a bid to boost agricultural production and ensure food sufficiency, as well as security in Aniocha South local government area of Delta State, the executive chairman, Aniocha South local government area, Pastor Jude Chukwuike, has empowered about 100 farmers with necessary farming tools at the local government council, Ogwashiku. Becky Greatsman Chukwuka has details.
As a fact, in the hinterland, agriculture is often the primary source of income and employment, playing a critical role in poverty reduction and food security. With this in mind, shortlisted beneficiaries from the different wards in Aniocha South local government area converged to benefit from the kind gesture of the executive chairman, Pastor Jude Chukwuike. While appreciating the sacrifices of the farmers in Aniocha South, the chairman noted that agriculture provides a livelihood for a significant portion of the global population, particularly in rural areas. To him, one of the key promises he made during his campaign was to support and empower hard-working farmers with improved seeds and essential inputs for a fruitful planting season.
We're going to empower our farmers, not just the farmers, we're very intentional, the community farmers, the real farmers, and having made that promise, we needed to keep it. So we took a very detailed profiling of the community farmers. Like you can see here, they are farmers, is their occupation, so we did it deliberately to make sure that the real people are empowered. So what you have here today are the community farmers. We did it so that productivity can increase, and if we are not feeding the nation, we should be able to feed Aniocha South.
I've seen some of my people as part of the beneficiary, and I've equally commended the chairman. This will be impactful into people's life, and this will equally boost their farm production.
The chairman presented a cutlass, hoe, manual sprayer, file, and a token of 100,000 naira each to the farmers.
I congratulate the chairman for recognizing his people. I appreciate his efforts, and I pray God to push him more to do more for the whole local government entirely.
Today, chairman has put a smile on our faces. We are happy to be among the beneficiaries. He has empowered us with the tools. He has also empowered us with the chemicals we're going to use to fight insecticide in our farm.
In fact, I never expected I would have farming implement now. I'm a good farmer. The chairman is a good man. God will continue to guide him and protect it and provide more for him to be able to provide for others like he has been doing so.
Chairman is building a nation, because whoever that empowers farmers is empowering a nation.
The farmers are expected to make judicious use of the tools presented to them, hoping to produce enough food for the local government area. From Ogwashuku, Becky, Great Man Chukuka, NTA News.
It is a new dawn in the Asaba Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture as a new leadership takes over. The 16th president is Chinwe Odua. Ngozi Imokwede reports that the event was held in Asaba.
Asaba Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture is poised with the responsibility of providing access to valuable resources and relationships that help businesses. The 16th meeting was held in a view to select their president, and unanimously they chose their president.
Honorable Chinwe Darling Olaruwaju Mom is our president.
Oath of allegiance was taken by the new ESCO. The new president, Chinwe Odue, was filled with appreciation. She promised that together with her team, they will move the union to an enviable height.
I will try to build on what Chief Anthony Dibe, Akulun of Asaba, has built. I am promising Asasima that I will try my best with my team to move further than this.
The immediate past president and others say it is a round peg in a round hole.
It's a great honor to be able to hand over the presidency to a very seasoned and experienced person.
I thank God for this day, that we'll have a woman of caliber to lead this chamber. I know it's going to be a great success.
With a woman in our midst, as a woman as the president, we know that Asasima will flourish.
I'm sure she will do well. And put her in our prayers.
Asasima is making progress, and I'm making progress in the right direction.
The person who came out as president is someone with experience in government, and we hope that she will bring her experience to bear.
Chinwe Odue was a former commissioner for commerce and industry, former member representing Oshimile South in Delta State House of Assembly, and other positions in the state. In Asaba, Ngozi Imokwede, NTA News.
If you're just joining us, this is Nta Asaba News. At 7, we just told you that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has eulogized late Pa Edwin Clark, who has been laid to rest in his country home, Kiabodo. We'll take a break here. Do stay as the news continues shortly.
A clean and healthy environment is possible. Help the government to help you.
We encourage Deltans to take charge of the environment. It is in the law. 20 meters radius belongs to you. If you are living between the road and your place is between 20 meters radius, it is your responsibility to take care of that environment. It is. So we call on Deltas to take charge of the environment. Deseat your drains. When you deseat your drains, mosquitoes and vector will not come close to you. It is not going to be business as usual when you do things the way you like. There is law that guides Delta environment. Once you contravene, the appropriate authority will take charge.
This message is brought to you by Nta Asaba in collaboration with Delta State Government.
Nta Asaba, adding value to society.
Human trafficking is evil, is killing a soul, not just the body.
Whenever you see such, you report to police.
The Nigerian Police Force here in Delta State Command, we have been enshrined by the law to arrest whoever is responsible for this and ensure that they are duly prosecuted.
Human trafficking is evil, is not godly, is not human.
Human trafficking is not part of our culture. It's not what we should encourage. It's not what we should entertain.
Human trafficking in Delta State is a criminal offense. It is not acceptable. It is criminalized. You pay fine and go to jail, and that ends your life.
So, stop human trafficking.
Stay away from human trafficking.
If you don't want to end up in prison,
stop it and look for a better business.
And so I want to urge the entire public to say no to human trafficking.
This message is powered by Nta Asaba in collaboration with Delta State Government.
good to know you're still there. And now to the rest of our stories. Stakeholders in power distribution value chain on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria are sharing recommendations on addressing policy inconsistency in the power sector and demanding deliberate implementation of the national plans on reforming the electricity distribution companies' discourse to end intermittent crises experienced by consumers in the sector. Oluseyi Adiagbo has details.
Why is the government not ensuring that the rules of privatization are supervised, are monitored, and then where necessary, the airing discourse are checked?
Idris Muhammad, a power infrastructure expert, highlighted that the privatization of Nigeria's electricity distribution was driven by genuine intentions. He, however, criticized the lack of due diligence during the process, which he said has negatively impacted power supply and hampered socio-economic developments.
One phrase or word that defines and describes what is going on in the power sector is lack of finances.
Other guests on the program pointed to flaws in the regulatory framework and inadequate investment, particularly in capacity building. Despite these challenges, they expressed optimism that current policy directions will move beyond rhetoric and deliver tangible results.
So let government be consistent, let government go beyond mere sloganeering, let government develop the political will.
For me, I cannot categorically look at it as a policy inconsistency. Rather, I will look at it as a policy progress. If you look at the generation aspect, was almost owned throughout by the government, and the transmission line it was also monopolized by the government. But now that all companies are coming on board, there's much more possibility that we are going to see positive results.
There is widespread hope that ongoing reforms in the power distribution companies' discourse will finally yield the desired improvements. In Abuja, Oluseyi Adiagbo, NTA News.
This is Nta Asaba News, the station that adds value to society. Please be reminded that you can watch this news live on our social media handles, Nta Asaba channel.